Welcome to the Mike and Alex Show. This is Mike.
This is Alex.
And this is Evan. I am the button presser and audio technician.
Yep.
And this is episode 3 of the Mike and Alex Show.
First one of 2017.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Yeah. How many New Year's resolutions are broken, you think, by now?
I think most of them. I'm hoping they'll be done by February, I'm guessing.
For the gym?
For the gym and for everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
How's that diet going?
Well, you got all year to do it.
Nah.
So.
Yeah, but you got to start some point.
Yeah.
I start after the resolution breakers.
Well, somebody brought up a good point. Just to have a resolution doesn't mean you have to start on January 1st. You could do that anytime. Start
it's can you, by the end of the year, from the beginning of 2017 to the end, can you accomplish the task that you wanted to do?
Yes. Or till
See,
March 1st.
I just don't like resolutions in general. I'd rather just have a mental goal, do it, and then just say I did it versus, I'm going to do it and then, have to stay on point to that.
No, yeah, it takes dedication.
No.
Yeah, I was like, I go to the gym anyway.
Takes what? Oh, there it is. There it is. So
I
anyway.
went to the gym 3 times a week last.
Yeah, and the gym obviously is a big resolution for people. Do you guys go to the gym this time of year, or is it too crowded with the...
It's too crowded for me. I start in February after the spirits break. And
that sounds like an excuse to me. It sounds like an excuse to me.
Yeah. Excuse this.
Well, I mean, why? What's the downside? What's the downside of going now?
Yeah,
well,
you might bump into a girl,
You're not going to bump into a girl that, unless they're actually going there regularly. The New Year's resolution group, I don't want to bump into. That's the whole point.
Oh, come on.
It sounds like you're offending a majority of people.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
I'm okay with that.
Sorry to anyone out there who has that as their New Year's resolution.
Sorry that you couldn't follow through for the whole year. My bad.
There we go.
Well, it's January 22nd. We got 11 months and 9 more days to go.
Yeah,
there we
go.
So we shall see.
It's going to be, give it some time, Alex.
Yeah.
But that is not an excuse for you not to be at the gym.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not the boss of me.
I'm not.
That's right.
Just teaching you.
You're not teaching me anything.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. There are a lot more people at the gym now.
And they usually take up more time on the machines.
And that will segue into one of the topics today, which is pet peeves.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think we can all agree on that one, pet peeves at the gym, when you're just trying to get to a machine and someone's just sitting there, not even working out.
Or of course not.
Yeah. Or, leaning on what Michael was going earlier, just goes there to try and pick up chicks. That's not me. I just want to get a workout and get out.
I actually never said that.
Those people don't actually impose on you. People who hug the machine.
No, they do. They do because they're leaning on the machine trying to talk to the girl, and they're slowing her workout out. They're slowing your workout out. They're ruining it for everybody.
Sorry, you're in assembly row going to the same machine. I see.
Well, if you're trying to do, biceps or your back, and somebody's there and they can't move because this person keeps hassling them.
There's a rule. If those two weights are sitting next to that bench for more than like 5-10 minutes, you just politely move them away and sit down.
Yeah.
They don't own that bench.
I think even 10 minutes is generous. I'd say
that is very generous. But yeah, that is a pet peeve at the gym. There's nothing worse than trying to work out when someone's just sitting there not working out, using your real estate.
Yeah.
Besides that, at the gym, that for me is the biggest pet peeve though.
Yeah, that's my main one too. I guess like if somebody doesn't wipe down the machine after they leave, that's a pet peeve of mine too. I don't see that as much lately.
No, people are a lot more courteous with that because they don't want to get on anybody else's sweat. They don't want people a lot more germophobic and conscientious of the fact that.
Yeah.
And you got to go at the right time of day too. You got to go at the right time of day.
What do you think is the right time of day?
I'm still experimenting with that, but in the mornings, I'm finding it. You go like in the morning, you don't get a lot of people who people want to stay in bed because it's cold. Morning's a good time to go. After work, I think is the worst. Obviously, everybody's trying to go at the same time.
Everyone's going to try to work out.
Yeah, well, just at the end of the day, I get the built-up energy in me. I like working out after the day, and like you said, in the morning, I'm probably to stay in bed. So I'm definitely one of the after-work gym guys. After work, before dinner, that's when I go.
Yeah, and I guess it all depends on when you have the energy. Like anything, the energy to write, the energy to record, do music. Time of day matters.
Yeah.
So I'd say mornings and evenings. I don't know what the experts say is the best time to work out, if it matters for your muscles.
They probably say something different.
It's probably the opposite time.
Depends on what you're trying to accomplish. If you're doing like cardio, I think like midday to later day is fine. If you're doing muscle things, I've read different things. I remember when Thomas Jane did the first Punisher movie, he was doing weights in the morning and weights in the evening just to maintain that cut.
Well, it's also depending on like when you eat as well. Your
more reps.
I think that's it too.
Yeah.
Segueing into another pet peeve of mine, and this is something I don't know if we might all agree on, but when you're waiting in line at a place like Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks and you're either behind or near, mostly behind someone because they're ordering and they're complaining, like they just complain about customer service the whole time. I find that to be such annoying and such a dick move. Like someone is providing you customer service, the least you can do is be nice to them, friendly. That's such a pet peeve.
Yeah, if you're an asshole to somebody who provides service like a waiter or somebody like that, I don't like that.
Yeah, I agree.
It's not their fault.
Well, not only that, just be courteous and respectful to one another.
Yeah, they didn't make the sandwich if you don't like it.
Well, they might have, but even still,
it is,
you can say it in a more respectful way.
And you can if you don't like it, get it done again.
Yeah,
just don't more flies of honey than with vinegar.
That's a good one. I like that.
I made it up.
No, you didn't. One, you did not make that up. Two, there's another one that goes even further.
What's that?
You can catch even more with shit.
Oh, you're just swearing up a storm today.
I'm not trying to.
Mister, right before this podcast started, he said he wasn't going to swear, everybody.
That negates my theory.
We should take a shot every time Alex swears.
We should.
I already finished my coffee.
Is there a bar open at this point?
No, I'm talking about coffee. I'm not an alcoholic like you, Alex.
11:10 in the morning.
I don't start. My resolution doesn't start till February.
What is your resolution?
I don't have.
Well, then you got nothing.
What resolution?
I was joking about resolutions, guys. I'm not doing one. I don't do that.
You really are. You really hate people who do resolutions.
I don't hate people who make resolutions. For me, it's just I don't
despise them.
I don't despise anyone. I just don't see the point.
Well,
I see the
phrase
point. The point is to make your life better.
Well, if you want to make your life better, you don't need to make a resolution at the beginning of the year to do it. Just get up and do it.
I'm going to go into the Barnes & Noble and buy him a self-improvement book.
I think you need a self-improvement book.
No, I don't need a self-improvement book. I just
Life for Dummies.
Life for Dummies.
That's cute.
Like how to change.
I remember my first
changing a
coffee.
tire, boiling a pot of spaghetti, jump starting a car. What are some common things that you thought you would learn in school but you didn't?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. They were like a lot. There probably are plenty of books like that.
So there's a lot of for the dummy books out there.
Yeah, beautiful thing about the internet now.
We all get a bunch of them.
I don't know. I think there's better things to spend your time doing than just reading about doing.
Doing what you're reading about. Yeah. That's the thing about people complaining about like workout books and stuff. Like, how come I'm not getting results? Well, you got to actually do what they're talking about.
Exactly.
In the book.
You see, that's. I agree with that.
Well, thank you. Well, you got any more pet peeves?
That's so sarcastic. Don't be a jerk. For me, you know what?
You got peeves everywhere. I know you got pet peeves.
But the thing is, I try to focus on the good now. That's my thing is to focus and change. Don't be a jerk.
Way to go.
But for me,
this was your topic, by the way.
It really was. I don't know why I went into it because I wanted to.
You suppressed your peeves.
I didn't suppress. I refocused my energy.
That's good.
Yeah. No,
you got peeves with people who don't?
No, I don't. It defeats the purpose. But for me, one thing that drives me nuts is grammatical errors. It's like we're in a day and age where technology actually corrects the words for you.
I agree.
So when somebody says your, and your, it's like just take a second before you hit send and read.
It'll underline it for you.
Exactly. Well, not only that, but even if it's like your as in Y-O-U-R, as in it belongs to you, or you are. If you're not sure which your you're using, if you're addressing,
there's another one like that.
Exactly, the theirs. If you're addressing somebody as your, then just do you are. Because if you can't spell it right, then just say you are.
So go the Ebonics way.
Or you are.
Lack of contraction.
Yeah, exactly. Lack of contractions.
Lack of spelling ability.
Standard English. Yeah.
I actually call that more texting friendly. Just you are. You're back. You know.
Well, it's fine, but it's like. If you can't spell your and you can't put the little apostrophe RE, then just say you are. That's it. That's it.
You get nothing to say on that.
Yeah, because it drives you nuts too. I know it does. Or maybe Michael's guilty of that offense.
No, because I spell correctly. I take the time in my text.
No, you don't. God, no, you don't.
Yeah, you don't use punctuation though, Alex. You don't use periods.
It's a text message. I'm not sending an email. I'm not writing a letter.
I think I got a text from you earlier that said, "Hey, pick you up train station." Like, okay.
Train station.
I think you missed a
Train
few
station?
words in there.
At the train station.
Yeah. We all have
our things.
Remember, kids, complete sentences.
makes the world go round.
Yeah.
Remember, kids, vet your friends much better than this.
Vet?
Vet.
Yeah, vet your friends.
Vet your friends.
Yeah. Especially when
be
you're
more
in your, like, your
selective.
30s and you don't have time for hunt dozens of friends. So you can I mean,
It means be more selective,
yeah,
Michael.
exactly.
Who taught you that?
School taught me that.
I went to a place that said love people and have a variety of friends.
You can do that. You can have a variety of friends of 7, 8 friends.
Yeah.
No, I think
have
actually
plenty
that
of
kind of
friends.
brings me to another topic: is Facebook friends. When you get to a certain amount, is that too much? What is too many?
I think if you don't talk with that person on a regular basis, or it goes more than 3 years, then yeah.
They shouldn't be. You shouldn't be on their friends list, or how do you feel about that? Or you shouldn't have them as a friend.
I'm not one to judge. Everyone's circumstances are different. For me, I try to be in touch with people that I'm friends with on Facebook.
Yeah, I'm somewhere in between. I mean, I got about 500 friends. Like my old classmates that I probably haven't talked to in 10 years. I will still keep I'll still have them as friends. I won't defriend anyone. Because I mean, they're still a part of their lives. I want to see how they're doing.
Yeah,
But
I can see
if somebody that I just met them once at a party, or we have mutual friends but we haven't actually met, those are the people that I probably I no really use. I'm not getting anything out of it.
I've got about over 700 because I have a lot of people from LA.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are just simply the way it works. A lot of times you take classes with people and people all of a sudden friend request you.
Yeah.
You'll have a bunch of new friends, but you barely talk to them afterwards. So
Well, now that kind of leads to I'm going to segue. Who's responsible for that? The person who is it you or them? Because-
Everyone, both of you.
Of
Or
course,
is it both
of
parties?
you.
It's relation.
It's a given. They sent you a friend request. You accept it.
Exactly. Now who's responsible for maintaining it? Both of you.
Both
That's
of
what
you.
I'm saying.
Both of you.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's
So
it
all
falls
right,
on
I think
you too.
at a certain point
Yeah,
it gets
it
to
definitely does.
where if you don't keep in touch with them, either you can unfollow them. That's always an option. You don't have to defriend them.
Yeah.
Or B, defriend them.
Oh, I unfollow a lot of people.
I can imagine.
Yeah, no, I don't. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'll unfollow if I like somebody as a person, but I disagree with their viewpoint or
On
they
life,
post too much,
political, and everything
or
else.
yeah, just things like that. I'll unfollow them. I mean, I
Which,
want to.
as I'm sure everyone knows, with the inauguration recently, there's been a lot of political views out there, which we try to stay away from. But on Facebook, you just can't avoid it sometimes.
Yeah,
It's
well,
everywhere.
it's during the election season and this week because it was the inauguration week. It's it seemed every other post was something like that. So
Yeah, and eventually we'll get into a political thing. With
We will?
this. Yeah, we will.
Okay. I'll take that day off.
Yeah, you can take that day off. I'll do it all by myself. It'll be called the Alex Show,
The Alex
featuring
and
Mike and Evan.
Is there the children's book? If you give a mouse a cookie, is that a commentary on the welfare state? Is G.I. Joe a commentary on military exceptionalism and expansion? Things like that.
Breaking Benjamin.
How pop culture goes into politics.
Yeah. No, I think the thing is, we all have our own opinions. We can explore those opinions, or
Well,
we
the way
don't.
I look at it is,
And by the way, I'm not saying we have to be political. This has to be a political thing.
No,
I'm just saying it's a part of who we are as people, our views on the world. Right now we're only glossing over things with entertainment and pop culture, but eventually we'll probably scratch the surface on deeper things.
as we get more comfortable with each other.
Exactly.
Yeah. And the other thing I noticed about Facebook friends, just going back for just to touch on one point, people who are big networkers, like people who maybe they have their own business, or people who are like musicians or DJs, or if you're using Facebook as a tool to promote your craft, they're okay with having 4,000, 5,000 friends because
Right.
it reaches out to them. They're a little more acceptive and inclusive.
I
of
should
all
probably
those.
make more friends on Facebook.
Well,
if you're looking to
social
Facebook
media
as
a tool.
connections, or you're looking
Yeah.
at social media as just your family and friends, that's just a good
Yeah,
point.
exactly.
I'm somewhere in the middle.
I use Twitter for connections. I use Facebook for. Actually, I'm somewhere in the middle too, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I have about 700 friends, but I would consider half of them connections.
No,
Yeah.
okay, well that's good.
So I guess
Maybe.
and whoever you fall under that category, you do. But it just it depends on what you're using social media for. As long as it's for the good, I say.
Yeah. Any other pet peeves?
Alex, what you got there?
I've got plenty. It's too many to address for this show.
Trying to pimp you out.
All right, I'll give you a pet peeve, and it has to do with Facebook. The whole fake news. It seems like it's a.
Isn't everything fake news at this point?
No. There's things that are blatantly, obviously untrue that people are sharing things on Facebook. It seems without even reading them or
Yeah.
checking
I think
Snopes.com or fact checking or anything like that. It's more like sensationalist than anything.
It's very click happy. They call
Well,
it. You see
clickbaiting.
something, clickbait.
Clickbait.
You click on it, you see it, and just don't even read it. Just share it, with
Yeah.
people, and then. But that kind of stuff, I mean, I don't know. I just brush it off.
What's worse is that seemed to have bled into other besides political. I mean, alternativeaddiction.com, half of their stories are clickbait about. Well, first of all, half their stories about the Guns N' Roses reunion, and half of them are clickbait as well. They'll kind of they'll take somebody's interview with one band member and kind of rephrase what they say to make it sound a little more sensationalist.
Yeah,
or,
they'll skew it.
Oh,
And,
you know
then, and
what?
then the headline says something like, I can't stand playing with this guy.
Yeah.
It's like...
And it's-
Well,
If
that's
you actually
if they
read the
said that,
article-
that's pretty obvious. But if they interpret it differently, then it's different.
Yeah,
You know
this
what I
is kind of selective, taking something out of context.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do that a lot with Tom Brady and the Patriots. They'll be like, "What's your? Hey, Tom, what's your view on Trump being elected?" And he wrote, "Oh, I'm gonna stick to football." That's a big deal, and they put that as the big quote. You know what I mean? Because they try to get anything out of something to
Brady
sell.
sticks to football.
It's the way to go.
Brady endorses Trump while sticking to football.
Yeah.
And
Brady
it's
said, "Let's talk about football," and winked.
Somebody even asked Giselle whether she was going to vote for Trump, and she wrote no exclamation point on her Instagram.
Yeah, she's a little more vocal, I think, than he is about the political views.
Well, he can't throw himself the damn ball, can he?
That was a good one.
That was one of the best ones I ever heard from her.
He did well for me. He did well in my fantasy season. He served me pretty well.
Yeah, same here.
Nope. I had Dak Prescott.
Well, that's another thing, actually, and we can see how right we were, is we can predict the Super Bowl right now. There's 4 teams left, after this afternoon, there won't be.
I gambled. I'd say the Raiders would make it, and they did not.
I agree. But up until Derek Carr got injured, I agreed with that.
But, I mean, other people, did you say the Cowboys?
I said
it was-
the Cowboys.
I thought it was going to be the Cowboys and the Seahawks.
Yep.
But I got
Cowboys and Seahawks, that's impossible in the Super Bowl.
No, I'm saying for the NFC Championship.
Yeah.
Well, you were wrong on both.
I was wrong on both, but I was right for the AFC settings.
Yeah, I was too. I said Steelers, Pittsburgh.
Okay,
Steelers, Patriots.
So the teams left, you think we're going to see a rematch for Squeeze the Cheese, like a Patriots-Packers, or you think,
I think that's the top
it's
one,
over,
but
it's been 20 years. Squeeze the Cheese rematch is it irrelevant at this point? You have
Yes.
2 different quarterbacks and different teams.
yeah, but Wisconsin's still known as the Cheese State, and it's like a even.
And yeah,
it's
the
still considered
Packers
a
fan-
rematch?
Are you a secret Packers fan?
No, but no. What it was is that when we matched up to the Packers in the late '90s, it was one of the first times in a while that the Patriots had a shot of winning the Super Bowl. This was before the dynasty years,
Right.
and that was our big saying: "Squeeze the cheese."
Yeah, well, I think that's the one. If you had to say, do you think America wants Patriots Packers, or do you think they'd rather have Steelers Packers? Do you think they just don't want Patriots in the Super Bowl?
I think America in general are kind of sick of the Patriots winning. As much as we're not, I think I think people it was like the Yankees in the early 2000s.
Right.
Or the later Celtics of the 80s.
But I have a feeling. I mean, people are sleeping on the Falcons. You never know.
Yeah, no, they've surprised all year long. We shall see.
Matt Ryan's the MVP. I think he should be.
Matt Ryan's not the MVP.
You want to? We'll see. We'll see if he is right or who's right.
He's the only MVP.
Who do you think's the MVP?
Number 12 from New England.
I would agree on that if he played all 12 games or 16 games. Believe me, I want him to be the MVP.
He played 12 games.
I want him to be the MVP.
Even with 12 games, he still got more touchdown passes and a lower interception ratio than most of the quarterbacks that started all 16 games.
Was it 28-2 or something?
28-2.
Well, it's a
The
great
other thing
debate.
is, like you weren't surprised. You had a feeling he would do what he did.
Well, yeah,
Like, you're
because
kind of curious, like who is
when you
surprised
pissed off Tom Brady comes back.
That's right.
Yeah. So the other thing is like who surprised you? Who came out of nowhere and like, whoa, I didn't know that they were as good as they are.
I think it was the Falcons.
Falcons for me.
Yeah.
Falcons. So that's why
Because
I
I
think
always
Ryan's
found their defense high, like their offense was always high powered
Oh,
in my
yeah.
opinion. You had Devontae Freeman, you had Julio Jones, Matt Ryan, but their defense was always suspect to me. So when their defense actually stepped up and played well this season, I was like, oh wow.
I think that's what we have left on all four teams: high-powered offenses with okay. I think the Patriots are probably the best defense left. Would you say that, or
Steelers? No,
Steelers?
actually, no. Steelers can be kind of. No, I'll say Steelers have a slightly better defense. Slightly.
Yeah, it's tough. But I'm gonna go on real quickly. I'm gonna say it's Patriots Packers Super Bowl. You
I'm gonna go Pats Packers too.
Packers Evan same.
Yeah, same thing. Squeeze the cheese,
All right.
electric boogaloo.
We're all saying the same thing here.
Squeeze the cheese, electric boogaloo.
Oh, jeez.
Electric Boogaloo.
Well,
Listen
okay,
up.
you know the movie Breakin'.
Yes.
They made a sequel, Breakin' 2, Electric Boogaloo. So anytime you sequelize something, you joke and call it whatever electric boogaloo.
Yeah,
Now I
like
got it.
Xanadu 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah.
It's code.
It's
Love that song.
But yeah, so we'll find out if we're right or not when we record our next one. Yeah,
our
so
next set, so
our next
episode
set.
5.
Yeah, probably episode 5 at that
shall
point. So want to segue into top 5 for the week?
Let's do our top 5s.
Top 5.
Top 5 for this week we said was going to be top 5 live concerts, right?
Top
Who
5
puts
live
on
concerts.
the best live shows?
And by the way, guys, if you have your own takes on anything we're talking about, go on our Facebook page or our Twitter page.
Yell at us, like it, whatever you like.
Yell.
Agree, disagree.
Agree, disagree.
Disagree with Alex.
Share
Yeah,
topics. Yeah, agree with me. Agree or disagree with me, because,
That's what we do.
that's what we do. So,
But yeah, this is obviously a very subjective one. So whatever everybody thinks their top 5 live concerts
all of them are
So
subjective.
remember, this is a band, and this is how a band performs live.
Exactly.
Not the studio, but how they perform live, judged by whatever metric you want, whether it's setlist variation, energy,
live performance,
sound.
live show, like stage performance.
Yeah.
One thing I will say, I'm disqualifying any lip syncers.
So no Britney Spears.
No Madonna.
Okay, no Ashley Simpson.
Does she even still make music?
I don't know, but Milli Vanilli.
I think you know.
All the,
I don't know.
I don't.
I don't know.
No.
Milli Vanilli, yeah. That's yeah.
What decade is this?
Yeah, I know, right?
Okay, so who wants to start?
I'll go first.
Alex, why don't you go?
Alright.
I'll go first. My top 5 in no particular order.
Oh, you're not putting them in order?
I'm not going to put them in order.
I'm gonna try.
All right, I'm going to try.
For me-
It's a lack of effort here, but go ahead.
It's not a lack of effort. They're all. If I'm stating them, it's because I enjoyed them for one reason or another.
Or you just can't organize it, but go ahead.
Fine. Top 5. Number 1, Alice in Chains. Number 2, Metallica. Number 3, Nickelback.
Boo!
Why are you
That
bored?
one's
You
gonna
bet the
get-
Nickelback
I said
movie
ooh.
What the
I said
hell?
ooh. I said ooh.
No, I'll tell you right now. This Nickelback
There's gonna
hate
be
is
some-
ridiculous.
and here's the
but I'll tell you
comments
right
right
now,
below.
they put one of
Vote
the,
down! Vote down!
But I'll tell you right now, they put on one of the best live shows that I've ever seen. You can say whatever you want about their music,
And we will.
and most people who put down their music have never listened to an entire Nickelback album because they address different issues in their stuff. Yeah, they put a lot of party rock out there, but they also have like a lot of social issues that they address.
Agreed. And we
very
have gone to
terms.
quite a bit of Nickelback shows,
And-
even
and
though I
it's-
made fun of Nickelback in one of my
And
sketches.
and they're a great show, and they put on a great show. Number 4, Bryan Adams. Bryan
I have
Adams.
to ask you about that. I've
Brian
never seen
Adams.
that.
I saw Brian Adams in Def Leppard about 2 or 3 times in the span of about a year and a half. It was the Double Shot of Rock tour back in like 04, 05. And they I saw Van Halen the year before, and both bands put
How was Van Halen? Who was the singer of Van Halen? at the time?
Sammy Hagar.
Okay.
And
Okay.
there was no chemistry with the band with Van Halen when I saw them because you could tell they were fighting.
Oh, okay.
So it was just like, it was so awkward. You could see like the split down the middle of Hagar and Anthony versus the Van Halen brothers. But with Bryan Adams, it was just like,
It's fairly representative of Van Halen concert.
oh,
by the way.
exactly.
Yeah.
Full sound. Great quality sound. I saw them first at Campanelli Field in Brockton, Massachusetts. Then I saw them at the BU Center, like 6 months later, because it just like the '80s revival just kind of exploded again. So my number 5, Seven Dust. Seven Dust puts on just the energy you get from them. They feed off of you, and you feed off of them.
We saw them.
Insane. Oh,
House of Blues.
We've seen them like half a dozen times together. I think I've seen them like close to a dozen myself. They phenomenal.
No, really quickly here. What's your favorite place to see a show? Do you have a favorite place?
I do.
Where's that?
House of Blues, followed by the Palladium in Worcester. I like a little more intimate.
Do they even do shows at the Palladium?
I don't know.
They have a metal fest upstairs sometime this year. I think they're still
bands, tribute bands or something.
Yeah. For me, it's definitely the House of Blues. It's big enough that you have enough room to get around, but it still has an intimate setting to it and feel to it.
That's good. I agree. I like that. I like being able to
No, I disagree. I disagree with you agreeing with me. How about that?
Really? Well, that's dumb for no reason. But anyways, so my top 5 is going to be number 1. I'll have to agree. It is Alice in Chains, number 1. There's just no disagreeing on that for us because we're big fans.
We're both
of them.
AIC fans.
Would have loved to seen Lane live, obviously, with them, but that just couldn't happen. Second would be Metallica. So that's another one. Great show live. For those guys that put on as many shows they have for as many years they have, I give them so much credit.
They're consistent.
Definitely.
3, and this is actually going to probably shock you because it's an 80s one, is Bon Jovi. We went to see Bon Jovi.
We saw Bon Jovi. They were good.
I'm surprised actually that did not make your list.
It didn't make my list, but you know what? I will say right now, they put on a great show. 3.5 hours nonstop, and that's not including the opener.
Yep, and that's pretty much what I would have to say. That was at Gillette Stadium, wasn't it?
That was at Gillette Stadium.
That's a great place to see a show in the
Good
summer.
margaritas that night.
Yeah, we took a limo down there, and it was a good time. We missed most of Nickelback that time. But,
yeah, we were stuck in traffic.
But that's okay, because we'd already seen them like a half dozen times at that point.
Yeah.
4 would be Green Day. I've seen Green Day. I really like Green Day live. I saw them actually the first show I ever saw was at the Warped Tour with them in the early 2000s, and they just put on an awesome show. The drummer lit the set on fire at the end and stuff. They put themselves into their music, and they love it. I know they're a little political nowadays, but
actually, I actually enjoyed American Idiot more than I enjoyed their other stuff.
Dookie,
and everything else. I thought it was more consistent. I thought it was a more mature sound. Yeah, it was still rebellious.
Yeah. And I also think with Green Day, when they tried getting rid of that element with the Uno, Dos, and Tres trilogy of albums, it kind of watered them down. So I'm glad how they brought that back out with Revolution Radio, the one that came out last year.
So you're a Green Day fan as well?
Yes, I am.
Oh, he's a big Green Day fan.
The 5th one for me, Black Crowes. I like the Black Crowes a lot.
They were great.
They're a great band.
They
We
were
saw them
great.
a couple times at Hampton Beach Casino. I like Black Crowes, so you can go there and listen to like some more, I wouldn't say hard stuff by any means, but like rock stuff, and then more like chill songs, like She Talks to Angels and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Very great, good concert to go to.
P95 London's a great song.
P95 London. And then there's, really quickly, there's some bands that I saw that we were all disappointed in. They thought they'd be better. Remember Trapped? Back in the...
Yes.
We went to
Oh
their
my
show, and
God.
their sound was
Yeah.
awful. Yeah.
So we'll do our top 5 worst this show.
I don't know if I can do top
I'll,
5, but I'll do some.
I trust me. I've seen enough.
And
shows.
another
I
one,
can do
Seether.
top
I
five.
would have put Seether up there, but we went to a show with them, and the guy left after a couple of songs. And I understand he gets sick and stuff, but it was just
they opened up for
unfortunate.
They've opened up for Nickelback a couple of times that I saw them. They were great when they opened up for Nickelback, but as a headliner, it was such a ripoff.
Sounds like When I saw Seether open up for Audio Slave, and they put on a great show. But the band who opened up before Seether, 30 Seconds to Mars, complete shit.
Really? They don't sound
Wow.
good live?
No, they were good. They were good when I saw them twice.
Yeah, so your mileage may vary.
Yeah, I think it was depending maybe the set time and the position of performance. I saw them open up for Incubus back in 2002, and they were good. I mean, the Incubus fans hated them.
I saw the...
and the 30 Seconds to Mars boys hated the Incubus fans right back.
You're like fighting each other.
But then I saw them in 2014 in the Project Revolution with Nickelback. I mean, not Nickelback, Linkin Park. Mm-hmm. And they were good. AFI was good, and Linkin Park were good.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they've got better.
They've gotten
30
better.
Seconds to Mars over the years.
Well, remember, that was when around the time you were saying they were still doing that first album.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. So for my top 5, I do it a little different. I like going from 5 to 1.
It's probably
rather
more
than 1 to
appropriate,
5. Before that, I will say that I do like Alice in Chains live. However, I've seen their back-to-backs, like 2 different tours, back-to-back set lists, and they don't really vary their set list. I put a lot of stock into how different is your set list from like the last leg, and they don't change. Their performance-wise, they're great, but they don't change enough from tour to tour. Their set list, so that's one that kind of stopped Alice in Chains from breaking into my top 5. I do like how a lot of times they don't have an opening act, so it's literally just their show. All the musicianship-wise, they're great. They have a great selection. They have a great selection of songs. It's just once you see them once, they don't vary enough. At least the last 2 shows I've seen. So maybe get swap out a little bit more than. But I mean, okay. So
you want more variation.
A little more variety, and that kind of preludes some of the stuff that's in my top 5. So number 5, I've seen them twice. I saw them once at the Wallace Civic Center and once at Fenway Park. Is the Foo Fighters?
Once I see them live, they will make my list. I know they will.
They're an honorable mention for me because they were fantastic live.
Yeah. And for those of you who don't know, over not last summer, the summer before, Dave Grohl broke his leg during a European tour.
Heard about that.
So most of the American tour, he had his roadies building this giant throne.
Almost
Game
of Thrones.
And I'm like, okay, I wonder if it's going to be an acoustic show or like anything like that. No, he sat there sitting in the chair and he rocked. He performed like he was on 2 legs running around.
A little fun fact: he actually loaned out that chair to Axl Rose when Axl broke his leg at the beginning of the Guns N' Roses tour.
Did the same thing there.
Good to know.
And they're not afraid of putting in a random cover, and they always have good very good energy in the show.
Yeah.
So
I've heard nothing but good stuff.
Yeah, and part of it was that one of my very first concerts was back when the Wallace Civic Center actually hosted bands. It was in '97, I think. They put on a great show. So
That's
number
great.
5, number 5 for me is the Foo Fighters. Number 4 is Pearl Jam. I've seen them a couple times as well. They always put on a good show.
Yeah.
They changed up their set list enough. They're not afraid of putting in a random cover song. And just Eddie Vedder's the performance that he brings is just top notch.
So it's kind of funny you're talking about variation. I've heard people Pearl Jam and Foo Fighters. Funny, these are your top 2. These are my top 2 bucket list still.
Yeah.
I heard the opposite about Pearl Jam. What you were saying about Alice in Chains
Really?
is they want to hear some of their hits, and you'll go to a Pearl Jam show on
and you'll hear barely
one
any of them.
night, and you'll they played their hits the first night or something.
Yeah, so they kind of take into account that people might go to both shows and kind of change. Like if you go to the Gillette Stadium twice,
or Fenway, or something.
they'll play different songs. They'll take into account, but I see that point of view.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
see, that's where I
would just love to hear. I like their music, so I'd get into it. But I can see that.
Yeah, I'm a diehard fan. I don't have to hear.
I'm a fan. I'm not a
diehard
fan, but you know, you go to hear the songs that you fell in love with the band for, and when they skip it because they want to go a little more deeper cut.
Yeah,
it's kind of like.
I heard Zac Brown is like that too. If anybody's a Zac Brown fan,
I'm not a Zac Brown.
I like Zac Brown.
I like heavy.
I like some of his
that
stuff,
stuff off the last couple albums, but I'm not a big fan of Zac Brown.
Number 3 for me would be Metallica.
All right,
again, one of my first shows. I think it was in '98 off the Reload tour. They put
Cantrell opened up for him.
Yep, Jerry Cantrell and Days of the New opened up. That was
Where was that egg?
What it was known as Great Woods. Remember when it was called the Great Woods?
It's now currently the Xfinity Center.
The Xfinity Center. Yeah.
And
Days of the New and Cantrell. Oh man, that would have been awesome.
Yeah, it would go great lineup in Metallica. They're just one of those.
How was Days of the New live? Do you remember?
Good.
Very good.
Days of the New's good live. I've seen them a couple of times.
Yeah, I mean, Days of the New is an honorable mention for me. I've seen them in so many different incarnations. But it's just for the type of music, you don't always. Sometimes it'll just be him,
right?
And it's hard to have the same amount of energy like Metallica when you're just by yourself. He puts a lot of energy into it, but it's just sometimes the conditions. It makes it trickier.
They seem like they'd be great in a more small, intimate.
Yeah, so I've seen him in a couple places. I'm trying to remember the places in Southbridge, like Mill Street Brew in Southbridge,
or like Lupo's. I could see them.
Lupo's. Mark Show Place in New Hampshire, in Bedford, New Hampshire.
Isn't that a strip club?
And Rock Venue.
Oh, okay.
They're right next to each other. They're connected in.
Interesting.
So, if you have a crappy opening band, it's easy to get distracted for 45 minutes and then go back.
Yeah, there you go. Which Evan may or may not have done.
Allegedly.
I did.
Allegedly.
No way about it. Yeah.
We don't hold back.
Yeah. Number 2 would be the Dave Matthews Band. They're fantastic live. They're just...
Dave.
Yeah, Dave Matthews Band.
Respectfully disagree. play Crash and get off the stage.
See,
Crash.
you
That's
have to
it. No,
That's
no,
it.
No.
Again, you wouldn't. People don't go to Dave Matthews Show for the hits. They go for some of the longer
experience.
jams they do. Yeah. So it's the crowd gets into it as well. I noticed that the crowd at a Dave Matthews concert is just fantastic.
Did anybody else like growing up? Did you just have friends that were so into Dave? Like it was just
That you
like,
couldn't be friends with them anymore?
Well, it
Yes.
was almost like a fad, and you're like, all right, I kind of was not into Dave because I felt it was very fad at one point.
Yeah, I can see that.
I don't know if you guys.
A little bit. I'm good at like focusing just on the music part of it, and then I'm like, this is good. So
Their music does seem good though. Like if I really
I couldn't
listen
get
to
into it.
Yeah, I've seen him live a couple. Now, is it the instrumentation or the songwriting or is
All
it
of it. All of
He
it.
doesn't like anything.
I don't like anything about Dave Matthews.
especially
and the
because it's
Dave
called the
Matthews
Dave
Band.
Matthews Band. And
Well, no, I don't care about somebody naming their band after themselves. I'm perfectly fine with that. It's just the sound quality, like the sound itself.
by the way, you can check out the Alex Lopez Band this week.
No, you.
No,
We'll be opening up in my basement for my
Won't
other
even
band.
make that show.
yeah.
No, So they Dave Matthews Band, they put out like a fantastic performance live. They always change up their set list. They're not afraid to put in like an obscure song that you may have only been able to hear on a bootleg, and just there. I mean, there's 7 people in the band now. They have a trumpet player set like the sax. They have a sax player. They've always had a sax player. They've always had a violin fiddle player. But now they have a trumpet player and another guitarist, Tim Reynolds, kind of as part of the main 7-man band.
When did
now.
original members die?
Yes,
I thought I heard something
unfortunately,
back in the day.
the original saxophone player passed away in an
Okay.
he had from complications from an ATV accident. So,
Oh wow.
yeah, it's no more. So
They're number 2.
Yep,
So
number
they're
2, and number 1 is Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band.
Oh,
There's a
yeah, they
reason
were
why
great.
He's known as the boss.
He was
Wow.
And let
great.
me
Did
tell
not
you
expect that one.
Okay, 3-hour shows, fanatic fans. They're all in their 60s, and they play like they're in their 20s as far as energy.
And no,
wise.
3 hours, no opening act.
Yeah, and it's all they
That's
always like change up their set list. It's just there's nothing better than the boss, and it's a testament to that how they have so many hardcore fans. The shows is a gamble what they'll play, and again, if you can't come in to hear all the hits off of Born in the USA, you'll hear a few of them, but you're not going to hear all of them.
Wow.
So
And there's so many diehard fans. It feels like of
yeah,
Bruce
so
Springsteen.
for me, I'll pay $200 to see him again and again. He just
Did you see them when they were here last?
Yeah, we went.
last year?
We not at Gillette. We saw them
I
in
wish
the
I
garden.
had seen him in the summer because that was a crazy. Because when they were playing in the wintertime, they were doing a tour off of the River album.
Which was a great tour.
Yeah, so I mean, so the first hour and a half, you know what the set list is going to be. But for the shows in the summer, it's all bets are off, and they had like a string quartet with them playing this. They played all sorts of stuff from like the first few albums, which were more like progressive jam bandish type of things, and but they'll always put on a good show. I just love me some Bruce, and Bruce Springsteen's my number 1.
Yeah, he seems like he really puts
seems
energy
like a cool
into
dude.
concerts.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't half-ass concerts. He'll go in and give everybody their money's worth. So
I don't
which
know,
is always key.
What's the point?
I mean, he won't Van Halen it.
I guess. It's like you had a problem with Van Halen too.
I'll save that for the next episode where we're going to kind of discuss surprising live shows.
Surprising shows like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, like you can be pleasantly surprised, or you can be surprisingly disappointed by somebody's live work.
Okay.
So this is a nice way of saying it.
It's respectful and polite. Yes.
That's good.
All right. So until that comes, we should wrap this up. You've been
That's what
listening-
she said.
That's right. There it is, another one. So once again, because it's right before the Super Bowl predictions are all Patriots and Packers. We will find out if that's going to even be true. We got some great live music. So obviously, I'm sure everybody's heard of all those bands, but if you don't, go check them out.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And this has been the Mike